I'm Gregory and welcome to Skagit Talks. Today, my special guests are Terry Nelson, the president, and Greg Whiting, the technical advisor of Skagit Valley Clean Energy Cooperative, based in LaConner, Washington. And we're going to talk today about their new program, Solarize Skagit. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell me a little bit about your group and a little bit about what your mission is and what you're hoping to accomplish?
Well, we're interested in promoting renewable energy, clean energy, because of all the current environmental problems that we have experienced, and because it's an imperative that we start moving to a clean energy economy. And so we formed a group several months ago to try to promote those ideas. And we've been fortunate to link up with a group called Olympia Community Solar down in Olympia. And they've been involved in these Solarize projects for 3 years now and have had great success. And we're partnering with them this year to try to do the same thing down here in Skagit County.
Terry, do you have to be a resident of Skagit County to take advantage of the program?
Ideally, yes. We can go. I asked them about your situation, by the way, and they said we could possibly do that. But our contractors are bidding on the basis of the area that we're covering. So if they go very far out of the area, there might be a slight upcharge. But
I was going to say that would affect their profit margin, wouldn't it? I got you. Also, Greg, tell me what your role is with the organization.
I'm the technical advisor. I've been working in energy technology development for over 30 years and have worked for major utilities and as a consultant to major utilities. So when the Skagit Valley Clean Energy Co-op got started, they were looking for someone who could basically see what can and can't be done with the renewable energy technologies in their current state, and I've just been working with them ever since.
Are you working strictly with solar panel power, or do you have other forms of clean energy that you're working with as well?
Our goal is to advance clean energy technology of any type. I've been writing a column for the LaConner Weekly News describing some of the energy efficiency technologies that can be used and also describing some of the renewable energy technologies. And as far as the co-op goes, we are trying to promote all of those things. We're trying to encourage people to use energy-efficient technologies. We're trying to provide assistance in understanding and acquiring electric vehicles. We're trying to work with entities that can actually install electric vehicle charging stations. We have some programs that we're trying to get set up to get government entities to adopt clean energy technologies, and we have already succeeded in getting the Solarize program off the ground. So stay tuned. We've got lots of clean energy stuff coming.
That's wonderful. And I want to point out to our listeners that you have a nice website that I really enjoyed looking at. Let's give that to them. It is Skagit, V as in Victory, C as in Charles, E as in Edward, .coop. That's SkagitVCE.coop, where they can see your mission statement and see about your partnering agreements. One of the things that I noticed was, as you pointed out, Greg, that you have a lot of recommendations for people who are looking at seriously making a move to clean energy. You mentioned electric car, which I have one of those and have had for about 5.5 years. And then also something that I've been interested in when I'm looking at the possibility of going with solar panels is the new storage units that are available, including I know Tesla is one of those that has a storage unit. Are you finding that people have to be part of the grid when they sign up for the service, or can it vary as to how they want to control the amount of clean energy that they're bringing in from, say, let's use, for example, clean energy, like solar panels?
Now, the grid is already there. So if you have a house and you're already connected to the grid, then that's just part of the system and part of the infrastructure that we're dealing with. Generally, if you're putting solar panels on your house in the state of Washington, the utility is required to do a thing called net metering, wherein they give you a rebate back over the course of a year for all of the energy that you generate. And if you have a set of solar panels that will generate as much energy as you use, you wind up only essentially paying the connection fee, which is just a few dollars a month. If you have a house that is not on the grid, then you do need to be aware of the fact that you need power 24 hours a day, and the sun's only up 10 to 12 hours a day, and the solar panel won't actually generate during that entire period of time, at which point you really do need storage to be able to meet all of your needs. Ideally, the combination is to have storage, self-generation, and a grid connection, and to be able to manage all of that so that you can take energy off the grid when it's the right thing to do and put energy back onto the grid when it's the right thing to do, which will depend on the hours of the day and how much energy you're using and how much energy the utilities are generating. But that's all part of the discussion that you have with the solar contractor when you install it. How does the program actually work? I could get into a lot of detail that listeners probably won't be interested in as to how utilities work, so I'll just leave it back to you at this point.
Thank you. One of the things that I know that people listening to our broadcast today are going to be asking is, how much does this cost? How much does it cost to be a member of the co-op? And then how much does it cost, to install these clean energy solutions to their home?
Well, the membership in the co-op is pretty reasonable. We ask for a one-time non-refundable membership fee of $100. And we're hoping to acquire as many members as we can because we need help to develop this entire procedure. But right now, with Solarize program, we're taking off pretty good. We've got a committed price of $2.81 per kilowatt for our systems.
$2.81 a watt.
Oh, a watt, excuse me. $28,100 would be the price for a 10 kilowatt system, which is about average. Of course, they all vary depending on the demand. The contract we offer a free site analysis, and the contractor can explain all the deals, and they'll design the system based on the use. And once they're supplied with the power bill, and at that point, then they negotiate with the customer to, if they wanted to, for example, to explore the battery option you were talking about, they could look at that time and consider that as an option. But essentially, that's what's happening with the price. We've got about 6 pre-qualified contractors ready to go right now. So we've come up with a better than average price, and we're trying to act as sort of a conduit between the contractor and the customer so that they don't have to do all this homework and they can be confident that they're getting a good professional deal.
It sounds like you take the middleman work out of this and advise them right to where to go to do this efficiently and the most cost effectively as well. Is there any kind of an arrangement or contract that you need to make with the electric company in Skagit County for the service that they buy back or that you exchange with them?
That's all part of, in Skagit County, Puget Sound Energy, but as I said earlier, it's across the state. All of the utilities do this net metering program. So when you put the solar panels on your house and you connect to the grid, the utility is notified that you've done this, and a net meter is set up, and the contractor will walk the Solarize participants through how it works exactly. But the bottom line is the utility measures the amount of energy that you provide back to the grid and then credits it back to you over the course of the year. And if you are over-generating, then you accumulate credits that you can use during months when you're under-generating. So generally with our long nights in the winter, you won't be generating very much in the winter, but with the long nights, with the long daytime in the summer, you will be over-generating in the summer, so you'll pay very, very low bill in the summer, and then the energy that you've accumulated over the summer gets credited back to you over the winter, and there's a true-up at the end of spring.
I know in another state where I lived, I had solar panels on my roof, and I had to make an agreement with the local power company for a period of 20 years. Is there that kind of agreement that needs to be made in Skagit County, or is there no real term to it?
Puget's net metering program has its own terms, and it's set by the state law on the net metering program. And whatever that is at the moment is what it will be. I'm not sure if there's a 20-year term on it. That sounds like something that might well be the case, but that's a conversation that you'd have to have with the installer.
we'll keep in mind that was 20 years ago when I made that agreement too, so things have changed a lot.
The solar panels last longer now, but the utility does still have a responsibility to make sure that it's making good investments for all customers, not just the customers that are getting solar power. So there probably is a term, but I would definitely just talk with the installer about what that is.
Let's talk a little bit about the tax credit and also the cost of this and the benefits that you can do by obtaining this solar system through your cooperative.
Right. Well, by working with the co-op, we've negotiated a price that is at least 10 to 15% below the market average. So by working with the co-op, we can offer the best possible price by the virtue of making a group discount based on the amount of customers that we anticipate having. I wanted to mention that all in all, because of the tax credits, it's really a great value, and I'll let Greg explain further how that works.
So suppose you had a $28,000 system, as Terry mentioned earlier. You can finance that by going through the co-op program. We have a financing partner, and so you pay for it over a long period of time instead of having to pay all the $28,000 up front. But right now, there's also a 30% federal tax credit for residential solar systems. So you'd get a little over $9,000 back on your taxes this year, or off your taxes this year, by installing the system while that tax credit is in effect. And the state of Washington is currently not charging sales tax on solar installations. So from a financial standpoint, you'd actually show positive cash flow in the first year, in addition to reducing your ongoing electric bills very substantially.
Sounds great. My special guests today on Skagit Talks are Terry Nelson, the president, and Greg Whiting, the technical advisor of Skagit Valley Clean Energy Cooperative based in LaConner, Washington. We're talking about their Solarized Skagit program and how you can take advantage of the benefits that the cooperative is offering to residents of Skagit County. You've mentioned that your partnership is with Olympic Solar.
Olympia Community Solar.
Olympia. Thank you for that correction. I appreciate that. And how to become a member. And the member cost for this is a one-time fee, which is wonderful. And let's also give out not only their website again, that is at Skagit VCE, like in Victory Charles Edward .coop, Skagit VCE Co-op. And the phone number there, if you'd like to contact them that way, is area code 360-399-6059. And their contact form also on the website if you want to just go directly there and contact them that way. Thank you both so very much for joining me here today. I really appreciate you coming in to talk to us about this program and how we can move forward to not only save money and be part of a clean energy program, but also help Skagit County get cleaner in the process.
Thank you for having us.
We really appreciate it. Now is the time to do clean energy stuff because the cost has come down on almost everything. It's not just solar, it's also wind, it's also electric vehicles, it's also electric storage, it's also a variety of energy efficient technologies. It's not like it was 20 years ago when you had to be uncomfortable to be energy efficient. Now you can be energy efficient and actually get better lighting, better HVAC, and a car that you can charge in your house instead of having to handle a gas pump.
And they can take advantage of that by getting in touch with you and having a assessment done free to come out and look at your property or talk to you about how you might be able to take advantage of this program.
Yes, and if your property isn't suitable for some reason or other, there's also community solar options that we're working with Olympia Community Solar on, and we intend to do that ourselves. We're working with the school and the fire hall now in town to work to provide systems for them because they're designated cooling shelters down the road, and there are grants available for those kinds of projects. So we're getting into that as well as rooftop solar for the average citizen.
Excellent. Thanks again, both of you, for being here today, and wish you the best with this program going forward.
Thank you, Gregory. Very nice to be here.
This is Gregory Sweet with Skagit Talks.